Hey, Mavericks fans, a major article around the front office has circulated here on a Monday. We're going to talk about it in just a few moments, but first, if you want the latest Mavs news, rumors, and full offseason coverage, this is the place to be on YouTube. Dallas Mavericks Today. Hit that subscribe button, share that link below with a friend. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. With that being said, big video on tap right now. Welcome into Mavericks Today. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and there is some drama, apparently, within the front office and one Luka Doncic. The Athletic dropped a bit of a bombshell report earlier today here on Monday, and it's around this quote-unquote shadow GM within the front office. That is one Bob Voulgaris here. The Athletic, Tim Cato and Sam Amick combined to do the reporting on this article. And basically, this Voulgaris guy, who is a former gambler, was hired by Mark Cuban a few years ago, analytics-driven mind, to have a part within this front office. And it sounds like he has had a ton of control within this team. And the big news around this guy is Luka Doncic apparently is not a fan of his. We'll talk more about Luka later on in the video. Here's the part of the Athletics report on Voulgaris and his role within the organization. Quote, Voulgaris has been the most influential voice within the Mavericks front office since joining the team, either initiating or approving virtually every transaction made over the past two seasons. Those same sources add that Voulgaris has frequently gone as far as scripting the starting lineups and rotations for longtime head coach Rick Carlisle. That is a pretty loud and damning quote, if you're asking me. You're telling me, a guy who, by the way, I had no idea who he was before this article dropped today. Not only did he have major influence in free agency and in trades, which is what's being reported, but he was actually helping Rick Carlisle script and manage his starting lineups and rotations. Some guy who was a gambler just a few years ago, this is a very bizarre story that has unfolded over the past couple of hours. Three major takeaways from my end from this article. Number one, Luka Doncic doesn't like Voulgaris. Again, we will cover that in further detail in just a few moments. Number two, this guy, if all these reports and quotes from sources around the league, if true, he's got way too much power and influence. And with him having that much power and influence, that tells me the Mavs have too many cooks in the kitchen. Mark Cuban, who likes to be involved in the transactions. Rick Carlisle, who's a very hands-on head coach. Donnie Nelson, who's been the GM forever. And now Bob Voulgaris, a guy who I had never even heard of, apparently has major power in this front office. Now, Mark Cuban has responded by saying, total BS on Twitter just a couple of hours ago, which really shouldn't be a major surprise as well. And really, he's gone even further. He's talked to a couple of reporters around the league to defend him in this organization right now, saying, quote, I listen to everyone. This is to Jordan Schultz of ESPN. And I certainly listen to Luka. The whole idea that there is a shadow GM is ridiculous. Taylor Rooks of Bleacher Report reached out for comment. He commented back saying, I place close attention to what Luka says, what the front office, analytics group, and our scouts say, what Rick says. The idea that there is a shadow GM is laughable. The idea that anyone but Rick sets the rotations is insulting. This tells me Mark Cuban's doing damage control. If he thought this article was just a total joke, then why not just tweet out total BS and let it go? The fact that he's going to multiple NBA reporters around the league to try and control the situation tells me there is some truth to this reporting. The Athletic is not NBAanalysis.net. This is a legitimate resource type of company that has legitimate reporters in Sam Amick and Tim Cato. You're not just throwing this out there if you're not sourcing a lot of folks around the league. This is a very bizarre situation that is unfolding in Dallas. And I want to know, have you ever even heard of Bob Voulgaris before today? Because I'll be honest, I have followed this team my entire life, never heard of the guy. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know if you had ever heard of Bob Voulgaris before today. Now, today's Mavericks video is sponsored by the Newsbreak app. Make sure you download the Newsbreak app, which is a good thing. And by the way, the first 100 comments that come through, we will reply with this link. You can click it on your phone and download for free. So get your comments in. We will reply to you guys so you can download Newsbreak. You're probably asking, what is Newsbreak? Why would I download it? Well, if you want to keep up with local news and weather updates, you can do that all on one feed on your phone. It's the best app on the internet for local news and weather. You can keep up with politics, food reviews, pop culture as well, more sports content. You could probably have found this article from The Athletic on Newsbreak as well. And of course, follow Mavericks Today. Some of our videos are on the Newsbreak app as well. Download right there, chatsports.com/MavsNB. First 100 comments will get the link replied to them, and you can download it for free today. Let's talk now about Luka Doncic when it comes to Bob Voulgaris. Well, he reportedly is not a fan whatsoever. That is what The Athletic is reporting, that he does not like Voulgaris. Now, multiple rifts have occurred between the two and during game situations, which we'll outline one of those in just a few moments. Also, front office dysfunction has led to concerns about keeping Luka long-term. The Athletic threw that in there as well. I do want to add, he's going to sign the supermax, but that's a little bit concerning. Here in a situation in February, Luka and the Mavs were playing the Warriors, and I guess Luka was frustrated, and Rick called timeout, and Voulgaris behind the Mavs bench kind of gave the hand gesture of like, hey, calm down, it's going to be okay. And Luka said, don't effing tell me to calm down. Here's kind of what I take from all of this stuff, from this entire article. The Mavs got to start winning. What's the old quote? Winning cures everything. I promise you, every championship team in NBA history wasn't smooth sailing. What were the reports coming out of Golden State a few years ago that none of the KD and Draymond almost got into a fight? They didn't even get along. Well, they won 2 championships. You know what? You start winning games, everything goes away. That's just how things work. And I don't mean winning 50 games in the regular season. I mean winning playoff series, not blowing 2-0 series lead to the Clippers. You look at Luka's first 3 seasons, there's been progress, but not winning a playoff series this year, I think, is a bit of a disappointment. I think that's fair to say. His first season, look, it was Dirk's final year, kind of his farewell tour, no big deal. Second season, good progress. Made the playoffs, took the Clippers to 6 games with a couple of injuries. I thought that was a good progress. But then this year, you basically did the same thing, and even more disappointing since you didn't close out the Clippers when you had a 2-0 and a 3-2 series lead. Predict it for me. Will the Mavs win a playoff series next year? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in down in the comment section. I certainly hope so, because if you want to keep Luka happy, get the right pieces around him and make sure you start winning series. More from The Athletic on Luka and the Mavs, more Luka focused than focused on Voulgaris here. Quote, Doncic has a healthy relationship with the Mavs organization at large. Those feelings could change if the team's postseason struggles continue, as the Mavericks haven't advanced past the first round since their 2011 championship run. It's not that Doncic's situation with the team is at a critical inflection point right now. Multiple team sources simply fear that it's heading in that direction. And I do want to kind of slow down the break, calm you MFLs down just a little bit. He will sign the supermax. That's not in doubt. Luka, without saying it, did say it last week. They asked him if he's going to sign the supermax, and he kind of winked at the camera and said, what do you guys think? He's not going to turn down $200 million. But if he's 3 years into that 5-year extension and the Mavs still aren't winning playoff series, you don't think he could request a trade at that point? If he thinks there's dysfunction within the front office, that changes things dramatically, because he knows, hey, I'm a top 5 player in this league, and he's proven that with what he's done production-wise over the past couple of years. This is an undisputed top 10, borderline top 5, I think top 5 player in the National Basketball Association. Now it's down to the Mavs and this quote-unquote dysfunction of a front office, which I don't know how dysfunctional it actually is. I'm just telling you what the actual article from The Athletic says. I will say, if this random Voulgaris guy does have this much influence, I think that is a bit of dysfunction. You've got to get winning pieces around him, and you got to start winning playoff series. Dare I say next year. You got to win a playoff series next year. If not, some kind of change has to occur. Perhaps firing Rick Carlisle is the move at that point in time. So I want to circle back to kind of the central of this entire video. What should the Dallas Mavericks do with Bob Voulgaris. Because if it's true Luka really doesn't like him, and if it's true he has this much influence even over the on-court play, like the rotations and the lineups, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. Type F if you think they should just fire him. Type K if you think they should keep him. If Luka ain't happy and if you think firing him would make him more happy, I say fire him, but that's just my opinion. Before we sign off, I want to remind you guys, get subscribed to Dallas Mavericks Today here on YouTube. We're covering all kinds of stories just like this bizarre story today because we keep it real with you guys here at Chat Sports. Hit that big red button, share that link with a friend. It's youtube.com/MavsTV.